Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to Notes 2.3 Part 2. Now we're switching gears and moving on to subtracting when we have to borrow. There's two ways we can do this. We can either borrow or we can change it to improper fractions. So I'm going to try and show you both today. So first of all, notice we have common denominators here, right? So we don't have to do any crazy, finding common denominators just yet. But we can't do 2 minus 4. That would give us a negative number. So what we do is we borrow one whole, and the whole is determined by what the denominator is. So borrowing one whole makes a 14 become a 13. The whole that we borrow is 7 over 7, and then we put the original fraction that we have. Okay, so this really becomes, if I add 7 over 7 plus 2 sevenths, it's 13 and 9 sevenths. Right? Now, if I undid this improper fraction and added it back to 13, just like we did on the front page, I'd get 14 and 2 sevenths. Right? So basically what we're doing is purposely creating an improper fraction so we can subtract these two mixed numbers. So 9 minus 4 is 5 over 7, and 13 minus 5 is 8. So 8 and 5 sevenths is your answer. Let's try it again. Number 2, first I notice, hey, I got common denominators, but I can't do 1 minus 3 without getting a negative, so I'm going to borrow one whole. Borrowing one whole makes the 11 become a 12. The whole is determined by the denominator, so this time it's plus 4 over 4, and plus my original fraction, plus 1/4. And this will get us 11, and 4 plus 1 is 5/4. Again, I can add these straight across because they have common denominators. So that minus 3 and 3/4. 5 minus 3 is 2. Keep the denominator 4. 11 minus 3 is 8. Almost my answer. I just remember I have to simplify. Can never have two even numbers as my answer. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 8 and 1/2 is my answer. Alright, now notice 3 and 4 and the rest of them, they don't have common denominators. So first we got to find that. So put your finger on 9, put your finger on 18, move across. The least common multiple they have is 18. So times 2 just the first one. So I get 14 and 8 over 18 minus 11 and 7/18. And look, now I can actually subtract 8 minus 7. I'm good. I don't actually have to borrow one. So I want to practice kind of a mix-up when sometimes you do have to borrow and sometimes you don't. So here, don't need to borrow. In fact, write that down. No need to borrow. All right, only you borrow when this top numerator is smaller than this bottom numerator. So 8 minus 7 is 1. Sorry, this is 18. My fault. They have common denominators. Over 18, and 14 minus 11 is 3. All right, let's look at number 4. Put your finger on 5. Put your finger on 10. Move across. See, 10 is the common denominator, so just times 2 on this one. So we have 4 and 8/10 minus 3 and 2/10. And again, no need to borrow because 8 is larger than 2. So 8 minus 2 is 6/10. 4 minus 3 is 1. But again, these are not common denominators. I have to divide by 2. So 6 divided by 2 give us 1, and 6 divided by 2 will give us 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 1 3/5. All right, one more. So 19 and 1/6, and 6 and 4/9. So put your finger on 6, put your finger on 9, move across. Some of you are going to be very tempted to do times 9 and times 6, but actually they have a common denominator of 18 first. So let's use the smallest one always. So we get 19 and 3/18 and minus 6, and then on this one we're just going to multiply by 2. 8/18. Now, here we go. We have to borrow because 3 is smaller than 8. So we're going to borrow one whole from 19, which makes this 18 plus 18 over 18 plus 3/18. I'm going to start, I kind of ran a room. I'm sorry guys, so I'm going to swoop this on down here. So 18 plus 3 is 21. So 18 and 21/18. Got a lot of 18s going on. Minus 6 and 8/18. Let me erase this. I'm getting sloppy. And when I do the subtraction, 21 minus 8 gives me 13 over 18. 18 minus 6 gives me 12. And so there is your answer. Common denominators for number 6 are 15, so times 5 on this one and times 3 on this one. And when you get your fractions, mixed numbers, excuse me, you get 32 and 5/15 minus 24 and 3/15, and that's a simple one. You do not need to borrow there. Good to go. I'll let you solve that on Edpuzzle. That's it for part 2.